Hello, my name is George. I got first place at the Las Vegas Regional playing branded Draco. I just wanted to put my profile out, say what I would have changed. So, Frixel, 3 Malulu, 3 Lucas, and 3 Fimena. 1 Urgula, 3 Pan, 3 Rahu, 3 Ketu, 3 Traps. Pretty sure this is all standard. So the only thing up contention is the Dragons. I think 3 Pan is better than 2 and 2. You realistically, when you use 5 mana on your opponent's first turn or on your own turn going second, Pan is better than Urgula, just because popping monsters is infinitely better at breaking boards and, being able to push through. Urgula is good, but you have access to it through your Lucas, through your Ketu, and through your Rahu. You're always sending it off of Rahu. So you're always able to get the pop, whereas this, you might not be able to flex into it because you'll have to use Lucas to get 5 mana most of the time. As well, this card will always end up in your deck. Your last action every single turn should be putting this back to pick up 5 mana, which means this is always in your deck, always searchable, and always Rahuable. Whereas this one, once it goes to the graveyard, you basically have to always pick it up with Artline if you want to use it, because your opponent is not going to trigger it unless they absolutely have to, and it's advantageous for them in some way, or they just don't have the other option. So having 3 of this is good just because you have the ability to draw it, the ability to constantly use it from your deck with Rahu without having your opponent pop one to put it back on the bottom. And then for the branded, it's very small. It's just Albaz, Cartesia, 2 Branded Fusion, just basically 2 more starters, the brick, and then another normal summon. This going into Sanctifier makes your end board surprisingly a lot thicker, just because just ending on Gulamel, seals, and 3 traps is a decent amount of interruptions. But when you swap the seals for a Sanctifier able to summon Albaz and fuse into a Mirror Jade, or summon a Lucius to be able to get into a Pan to easily get into Phyllis Regilius when you have to play through things. Just makes your board way more layered and way more difficult for your opponent to play through, on top of the Gulamel, the quick fuse, and the 3 traps that you're going to have. Just grab this for later. And then for the non-engine, it's surprisingly small. Counting 5 mana as a non-engine, it's still pretty small. It's 3 Droll, just because you need it for Yummy, you need it for Mitsu. 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Fualos, and then the 1 Magnamut. This card is only okay. Going forward, I want to try to put the nibs from the side into the main. So this is a clean 40. I think your best bet is to take these 2 out and then either run the 2 or cut one of these hand traps to 2, or just run the full playset and be at 41. Cartesia is only ever okay. You don't really want to be sending this off of your Branded Fusion. You always want to be sending Frixel. So the only reason you would play this is hands where you draw the Frixel and you want to send the Cartesia, but then you already have a bad card in your hand, so it doesn't really make sense to play a card for when you draw a bad card. And then Magnamut is good. It's just you only really want him in specific matchups, mostly Mitsu's. So when you play against something that's not Mitsu, like a K9 variant, the mirror match, or just pure Yummy, this card just has a lot less value, and it's especially in pure Yummy, it's very difficult to properly resolve it. The only way you can do it is if they go normal, not Cupsy, Link, put minion, and target. It's the only good opportunity to use this. So as for the main deck, that's probably the only change I would make, is try to make space for the nib, which would be these 2, and then either go to 41 or maybe shave a Pan, but I don't really like going down on the Draco names, so it's probably just going to end up being a dirty 41 for the 3 nibs, just to have them in the main deck. For the extra, it's 3 Arthalion and 2 Gulamel. This was Titanclad prior, but between the Kaiju and Lancia that was in here originally, having to play Branded Fusion to get access to a side card when it's already interruptible just really didn't feel good. And then even when you did Branded Fusion, send the Kaiju, summon Titan, attack over, make art line, add back the kaiju and kaiju. Too much needed to go correct against Luna for that to be a reasonable out. So I just would rather play the second Gulamel and not just be limited to only having one of these, right? Just have the ability to grind, be able to play a little risky with my one Gulamel, because I always have a backup rather than being very scared to use this and very scared to bring it back. And then Secretarion, I didn't make this today just because I didn't play any mirror matches and I never had an opportunity to get a lot of value from the Reborn, which is the main reason you play this card, just because I was really focusing on using Frixel and keeping Frixel in rotation. So I was always normaling Frixel and getting back one of my guys whenever I could, which makes this card a little more redundant because people aren't really hand trapping this or saving their hand traps for other things. One Felius, this is probably the best fusion in the extra. This card just wins so many games, especially against Yumi and against Mitsu. Just being able to be most of the time a DD Crow, some of the times an on-field SP, just at a moment's notice, and whenever you make it, it's with your Arthalion, either the one that you summon normally or the one that comes from the graveyard for free, and Pan. So you're making it with the Pan, you're immediately triggering Pan to pop something, and then you just get to sit on this Regilius and just wait until an opportune moment to banish, and it's really good. That's it for the Draco fusions. I played Albion, and then both of the bonus fusers and the Mirror Jade. I made all of these a decent amount of times, even without drawing Branded Fusion. With the Branded package and playing the Albaz, when you don't open the Branded Fusion, which is more often than not, you're going for seals, and you're trying to seals into Albaz, and then Albaz into these, into either Mirror Jade, or if you have a hand of two names, into Albion, everything in defense mode, and then handing them a Blue Eyes link, just kind of logging them out of the game. So all four of these were really good. Just liked them all. Sanctifier has been an incredible card to be playing with. And then for links, the Spirit and the Seals, then the SP and the Cross Sheep. Just all generic links. The Cross Sheep was a little weird because I wasn't maining the Nibiru. I was siding the Nibs, and I was siding the most of the other Bystials. So the play of clearing a board and then having a leftover body, usually being a Nib or a Bystial, and then normal summoning a hand trap, linking into this, bringing back Gulamel or Art Lion, and then this bringing back a starter, didn't really come up because it was just not possible to do in game one unless you drew the one of Mag. And games 2 and 3, you're obviously grinding with your opponent a lot harder because of things like the side deck. So this didn't come up as much, but with me trying to move Nibs to the main, this will come up a lot more, especially going first. That's it for the extra. For the side deck, I played Saronir and Druisworm. Saronir over Baldrake because the tribute effect does not really come up. I'm not playing really anything else to tribute for it because the two fuses you can make on your opponent's first turn are Earth and Water, so you can't combo this by mana. So Saronir is just better because you can summon Saronir, and then if it gets outed by your opponent, either by Murakumoing it so you don't have the value, fusing it, or just linking it off, you can dump the Magnamut and then just Artline back the Magnamut for essentially playing two Magnamuts in a weird kind of way. And then Druisworm, obviously, really good. 3 Fenrirs for when I go first. Just all-around good card. You don't go down an advantage by summoning it and searching another Fenrir. Just makes Yummy boards really weird because you just have the ability to ban it. You can interact with their normal summon, spell for whichever extender they have, and then you can just use Fenrir on their final Marshmallow, and it just makes it makes their pushes a lot easier to deal with when you have a Fenrir for one of them, spell negate for the other, and then just bouncing the normal. 3 Pankratops. This card was for the Mirror, which again I didn't play, and for Yummy, because all you have to do with this, summon and then just turn player, crack it on the Herald, and as long as Herald's not on the field, unless your opponent has Purge, Ash, Bell, you should just be able to crack most of a Yummy board with just 1 or 2 fuse effects, just depending on which dragons you have in your hand. So this just being able to instantly turn off a Herald without using my battle phase, because using your battle phase with this is fake, because they're just going to book it, you're going to chain, and you just don't have a battle phase. And then in the mirror match, which if I played, just going second into it, same thing. All you really need to do is resolve a fusion effect, because whichever fuse effect you use, Ketsu or Rahu, you're going to get Urgula. Urgula is going to be able to snipe one of the 2 traps, so you just need to resolve a spell. So you can just go summon Pank, target the flame, and you always will know where it is, because either they set it and you know where it is, or they'll set 2 that's not flame and then set 1 from hand and you just know that one's flame. So the 3 nibs, like I said, I would want these to be in the main if possible. I will try to push these to the main, which will be the Magnemite coming into the side, and then I think I'll just cut the Cartesia, and then just try to find something else to put in here. And then 1 Called By and 3 Degenerate Barrier. Just insulate my plays going first. If my opponent doesn't do anything, this is just a good trap card, and then this card's just Degenerate. If you're able to flip this on your opponent and have any semblance of a board, you just win the game. If you get like triple hand trapped and just set this, you just get to go third and your opponent skips their turn as well. So but yeah, that was the profile. Overall, it ran really well. Like, even with having the Cartesia and even with having the Magnemite that I didn't really like favor, and having the nibs in the side, I still, the deck played really well. I was just able to get some really solid wins through just playing good Draco. The deck only really needs to draw like 1 or 2 hand traps, and then as long as your opponent doesn't have exactly Herald on the board, your engine can push through most things. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.